Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fat Boy Diaries. I'm Gran, your resident fat boy. Today I thought I'd talk to you guys about the importance and power of teachers and how in everyday life, especially for students when they're going to school, how a teacher can really change around their day. Because for me, a lot of the times at home, I was not having a good time. A lot of stuff was going on at home and at school, and they kind of went back and forth. So I never really felt safe anywhere when I was a little kid. Especially in middle school, I did not feel safe at home, and I did not feel safe at school because of the fact that my parents didn't believe me or about the level of bullying that was going on. In their defense, it was a huge level of bullying, and the fact is I wasn't the child of a celebrity, so it's hard to imagine children of an entire town actually doing what I was trying to explain to my parents they were doing, because in their eyes, what I don't do anything that would make me a target. But I was, and so for that reason, I turned to my teachers, and a lot of times instead of going to the lunchroom, because lunchroom was not my friend, I would go to my teachers, and these teachers, they opened their doors and they allowed me to come in, and it was a safe space. And I know I'm not the only student that experienced this with them, because I was also there, and they let other kids come hang out in their room, because it took them away from being exposed to students who just had the intent of bullying. And for that reason, I am extremely grateful for these teachers for giving me a chance and letting me have a safe space so I could learn and actually focus on learning, because sometimes it becomes impossible to learn when people are just attacking you for no reason. And that's part of the reason why eventually I had to transfer schools when I'm in 6th grade. Also because my parents at the time were getting a divorce, and so I moved from one parent to the other, and for that reason I moved from one middle school to the other one. And what's funny about growing up is that I thought it was made up, the fact that, you know, after a while people get tired of bullying someone. This is how I knew I was famous in my hometown. I was famous for the wrong reasons, but I knew I was famous because I went to the middle school that nobody I'd ever met before went to. And what I mean by that is an elementary school where all my people I was in school with graduated and went to the other middle school. And I was one of 5 students to go to this other middle school that I knew none of the students. And then the fact was, people knew who I was before I walked in the door, and I was not their peer. I'd never met any of these people, and for some reason around town people just knew who I was, that I was just the fat kid who people just bullied all the time, and I don't know why. That's why I turned to English, and it's why my English teacher is so important to me. I'm gonna do a more in-depth episode about her later on, so I'm not gonna talk about her right now. Without her, I probably wouldn't have survived that school and realized that I needed to ask help from my parents to get out of that situation. And that's a lot of the reason why I appreciate teachers, because yes, you can go to a counselor. When you go to a counselor at school, it feels like you're the problem, and so you need counseling to fix yourself. That's how it felt like to me in school, at least. So the fact was, I was talking to these teachers, and they're like, no, this isn't normal, and if this isn't making you happy, maybe you shouldn't go here, which made me so sad, because this teacher was so important to me, but she really helped me have the courage to step away from a situation that was bad for me and actually let me go somewhere that made me happy. And that's why I feel like teachers are so important, because not only do they let you vent your problems to them, but they listen and they give you actual critical advice for you to be able to approach the rest of school in a very emotional and safe way. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's wrong that teachers are so underpaid, because a lot of time, at least in my experience, teachers are the ones who save kids' lives. They're usually the ones, especially if your parent was working, they're usually the ones who notice a change in the kid the most, or things getting worse for them, or how they're getting more and more depressed. Definitely I was called out by a couple of teachers who really helped me see that I was actually getting emotionally traumatized. And this teacher actually pushed me to leave not only the middle school, but she also gave me the courage to go and try acting for the first time. And I would not be who I am today without acting. And I'm gonna do another episode, because this is where I was introduced to Haunted House. It happened shortly after I switched schools. And without it, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I just really wanted to spread the message that if you are a student and you have teachers and you're having issues, if you can't open up to your parent, definitely go talk to a teacher you trust and ask them what they think you should do. That's it for this episode. I just really wanted to share my message about teachers and their importance, and how much I love them, and how important they are in our society, and that we really need to take a second and really rethink why teachers are underpaid and not fully served for the amount of work and effort and love that they give the students that come through their doors. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video and you'd like to see more content, please subscribe. You can also comment, tell me what you want to see in the future. And as always, if you are subscribed, you can click the little alert button on the bottom right hand side of the screen, and you can be alerted when I post another episode. Thank you guys, and have a great day. Bye.